to be able to go in front of the Pardon and Parole Board, I think, is a blessing in itself. Not a lot of people get the personal appearance, so. I'm very fortunate because it's only because I'm at the facility I'm at. Otherwise, I'd be going over a video like they do at Mabel Bassett or Eddie Warriors, but because I'm here, right next to headquarters, I actually get to face, which I think is a little more personable. They can see that. My original charges I got when I was 18 years old. I had been abusing drugs for quite some time before then, since I was 11. And so by the time I turned 18 years old, I was kind of out of control. My family was worried, and they had contacted the police about setting up an intervention because they was afraid I was suicidal. And so I was at my sister's office when they called the police, and when the police showed up, they asked me if I would allow them to search my car and my persons, and I had agreed. And upon their search, nothing was found, and so their questioning began. And when I was questioned about how I got my drugs, I had admitted to buying a box of pseudoephedrine to trading for dope. So that's when they arrested me for initially endeavoring to manufacture, which was dropped to reckless distribution of pseudoephedrine, and they arrested me then, took me to the city jail, and when they pulled my ID out of my wallet, a single tramadol fell out, and so that's where they charged me with CDS of a tramadol. They booked me, they took me to county jail, and while I was in county jail, I was questioned about my part in grand larceny, and I admitted my part in that, and that was my third felony charge. I signed for a 10 years deferred sentence on all the charges, and I was put on 2 years supervised probation and was asked to do UAs, pay court costs, and I failed to do those things. And so they accelerated my sentence and offered me drug court. So when I pled into drug court, they split my sentence. It was no longer a 10 years deferred or a 10-year sentence that I was looking at if I failed drug court. It was 10 years to be ran consecutive with another 10 years concurrent with 1 year. So in full, it's a 21-year sentence, but I say 20 because it's 10 consecutive with 10 concurrent with 1. And so I was in drug court for 2.5 years. I was unsuccessful. I was in rehab a couple times. I successfully completed 1 time in rehab at Monarch and was sober for 14 months after that. I got in a pretty toxic relationship, which led to me absconding from drug court. I spent 2 months on the run, and I was pregnant at the time. So after 2 months, it was December 21st, I came back to Grove and turned myself into Delaware County because life was just pretty hopeless at that point, and I was desperate for change, and I felt like getting all of that, my criminal issues, I guess you'd say, taken care of would be the first step to changing my life. So I had to turn myself in and start my time. 20 years in prison and not having ever been to prison before is so scary because you've only ever seen TV shows, heard horror stories, and I was pregnant. So, but I was also homeless at the time. I was starving. It was like tough love. My family was not going to help me continue to run from the law. They wanted me to get help. And so I was contemplating life or death again. You know, do I take my own life, take my child's life, or do I turn myself in to serve this sentence and try to get my life straight? And my child won out. You know, it wasn't even really for myself. I knew that's what was best for her, and it was the only way I could save her because I couldn't get the proper care I needed at the hospitals with $200,000 worth of warrants. I agree that I had a pretty compelling case, one worth looking at, and so I filed. And it was like a week after I sent it in, and then I got a message that Oklahoma Criminal Justice Reform wanted to meet with me. So they intercepted my application and put their name on it to represent me.
Would you talk about why you feel that your case would be a strong candidate for the Pardon and Parole Board to commute?
Okay, and One of the main reasons I filed for commutation is because I felt like I had a better chance with the Pardon and Parole Board versus going back to my county where the judge and the DA, where it's in their hands. Because right now it's in the hands of the Pardon and Parole Board versus back to the county where I have such bad rapport. Does that make sense? And I don't have anything bad to say about my judge or my DA. I think they're awesome people. They have given me multiple chances in drug court, and they really rooted for me, and I ruined my chances in drug court. And so they had to do what they had to do, but I still feel like I have a better chance in front of the Pardon and Parole Board. And I'm a first-time nonviolent drug offender on 3 felony charges that I got when I was 18 years old. I'm 26 years old today. I've never been in any more trouble than that. And I was given a 20-year sentence. And to me, that seems pretty harsh. I'm not saying that I deserve to have my sentence commuted. I'm so grateful for this opportunity, and I'm so grateful to be looked at. And I believe I did deserve to serve some time, and I have served some time. And I've done everything I can to better myself and make the changes that I need to change to be successful. I've got my license in cosmetology since I've been here, also my GED, which provides me the opportunity to provide for my children and support my family.
Your simple possession charge, you got 10 years for that, but that under State Question 780 wouldn't have faced prison time for that. So
correct.
And so the most you could have be sentenced, if your crimes happened today, the greatest sentence you could have gotten would be a total of 11 years. Is that correct? Am I understanding?
Yes, I believe you are correct. And I actually, that larceny of merchandise from retailer I have also, I believe, fell under the 780 or 781. So I think that time would have even changed, because the property crimes, I think it went up from 500 for grand larceny to it has to be 1,000. So mine fell under the 500 or less. So coming into prison was very traumatic, and I was a broken person before I came in, and I feel like coming into prison is somebody's lowest bottom. You know, for me it was. I felt worthless. I felt unloved. I really didn't see any hope for my future. And I kept that mindset for about the first year of my incarceration. I had my baby, and I think hands down that's the hardest thing I've ever done. I feel like I have the world at my fingertips. I can do just about anything I want to, and today I want to use that to do something good, to give back. I have hope for my future. This commutation would mean that I get to be a mother again. It's relying on this commutation, really.